Morning, people. Gonna get stuck back into beefy. Got the dash and shit like that we need to get sorted out. My little MIG over here is finally the gas line. I've slit that whole sleeving all the way up there. Everything's just hanging out loose. The little gas line inside just went brittle and started cracking up everywhere. So I've just gone and bought some gasless MIG wire for it because we're only really down to like basic stuff. So only got to tack together this dash really, which is sort of getting there. Tack together that, tack together a center console. When it comes to more structural things like the seat belt anchors and that sort of thing, and even these brackets under the diff down here, I'll probably TIG weld them because I'm going to go get some more gas for the TIG, but that's not on the priority list today. It's more about just fabrication and trying to get things mocked up and close to being sorted really. So the dash isn't looking too bad. It probably wouldn't hurt to put some curves in here. Then you put the dash back together again, or the actual console, or find the right word, the actual covers to the steering column, and then that'd be ready to go. So I really need to just chop the other end of the dash off, put the end cap on, work out how we're going to actually bolt it onto the old car. I think it might be just like a couple of brackets coming off here and here with a bolt, and maybe a couple going across the tops up there, maybe some nut certs possibly, and then that'd be about it really. So yeah, so we'll get old Woody out of the way, which I've been going pretty gangbusters. The reason I run out of gas is I started doing a lot of welding on that bull bar, so I'll run back in after lunch once I get a bit done on Woody, beefy I should say, and we'll get a new bottle of gas so we can pull the bull bar off. Been experimenting with some polishing as well. That's not going too bad. So that's just getting the grain out of it. That's not actually putting the purple polish on or anything yet. That's just smoothing out the grain so it doesn't look like that. It looks more like that. So it's actually going pretty well, that actually, considering I'm taking the easiest way to actually polish it, and really the welding part of it is maybe another hour or so like that, and it should be all fully welded once I take it off. So but yeah, for this morning, let's get stuck into beefy anyway. Alright, better catch us up. We have the dash pretty much just tech screwed in the moment, but solid as. And this side, you have the end cap on, and that's all nice and solid as well. So what we're starting on now is the center console. Just a simple face coming up here. Do it again, face coming up here. That's where the gear shifter will be here. And then it just drops down the back. Little side curtains to drop down. Wraparounds underneath the dash. We'll probably just do a little curvature infill. I actually saw something on AliExpress last night actually, and I was actually thinking about roof liner, but it doesn't come in big enough sheets. But it is a pretend stitched diamond leather, and I was thinking, how cool would the dash and the center console look with a maybe a I think it was a white or a tan or something like that would look. Even maybe if I can get it in blue, but do the whole dash, just wrap the dash and the center console in this fake leather. So it might be a lot easier than doing all the body work and painting it all, because I mean, God, I think it was only like $20 for a 1.5 by 1 meter length or something like that. And if it's like stick on, or even I could glue it on, and that would probably be very easy to do. Even if I've got to put some trim pieces around to hide edges or something, that would be still quicker and easier than bodywork and painting all this. So I could just grind back the welds, put a little bit of filler here and there maybe, and then just glue all that on. So very tempted by that. And let's keep cutting into this because I want to go get some lunch. And while I'm out, I'm going to drop in at work and use their sheet metal folder to put some folds in this just to make life a little bit easier. So we're back, this is the results. Now we managed to fold the long edges quite nicely. Well, not nicely, it's only a baby little brake press. So it took two of us to actually use it and fold that length into it. And then these bits here, I just had to do outside manually because being such a primitive little folder, I couldn't get it into the actual teeth, into the jaws correctly. So but I think we can work with that. The only boo-boo I've made, which I'm not sure, I was supposed to cut these on an angle to let it slope down so that bolts to the floor. I'm not sure. I sort of like the idea of it sitting square, so I think we're going to roll with that first. We'll probably just chuck it in the car and see how it sits, and then we'll figure out what we need to do. Might weld these little corner pieces in here, which I was talking about earlier, and get it looking like a console, and then we'll chuck it in there and see what it looks like. Alright, hopefully the final fitment of this center console. Got a lot of fiddling and readjusting and mucking around, but I think we're nearly there. So let's chuck it in and see what it looks like, or see if it fits. Alright, I'm done for the day. It hasn't been a bad achievement. We've made some progress. All this stuff is just going to be fiddly, I guess. We're at that sort of end of a job where, like I said, I'd love to get the fabrication stuff over and done with. So then we're just down to wiring and fiddly bits and all that sort of thing. So I'm trying to hammer through the fabrication. Once the interior, well, the center console and the dash is sorted, we've just got to do the safety belt bracing, and then I'm just going to get a shop to fold up some side steps, and then I'll custom jig them sort of thing to make them a bit nicer. But yeah, it's just trying to get over fabrication stuff so we can actually just come out and do little bits on the nitty-gritties, the wiring and electrical issues and stuff like that, which doesn't require getting too dirty. You're not busting out the weld, you're not getting covered in shit. So that's what we're trying to do. Have a little look at this, though. So it's end capped. Pulled the dash out, or pulled the cluster out for now. We're using the gasless welder, which isn't overly joyful. I'll probably, well, if I use the fabric like I'm thinking, I'll just tuck it over the edges of this and butt it up against each other so it's going to hide, or I might just run like a little bit of black pinch weld around it. But it's not looking too bad. Go around this side. End capped. I had to do like a little infill there because I cut the dash out too aggressively when I was doing the original chop, but that's sort of the idea of it. I'll cut the hole out in the original hole down here a bit more, and I'll just make a cover plate, but actually I'll mount my forward shifter too. That's not too bad, and the back there sits down on the floor because the actual wings drop down over the side very snugly. I'm pretty happy with that. That's a nice finish on that. Yeah, I was planning on painting all the interior bits blue like the doors, because that's all like a brand new blue, but just not feeling that. So I think the quickest and cheapest way, like I said, $23 for a roll of fake diamond stitch looking leather, 1500 by a metre. I mean, that'll do a lot of the console. So probably nearly one piece of that would do the console for 23 bucks. I've just got to glue it on and make it look nice. So I reckon it'll be a really nice touch as well. So just add a little bit more, because the like some rat rods you have the outside looking all worn out and buggy, but the inside supposed to look like a new car. So that's what we're sort of going for. But for now, I'm going to call it quits. I need to go get some more gas, so we can probably try and get into doing a bit more welding on the actual bull bar of WB. But going along alright. Gonna re-drill the hole there because I snapped the screw off in that one, of course. I did bring those cans home because I was thinking about some fake petrol tanks on the side, but I think it's going to be too much mucking around. We'll just worry about the side steps and be done. So, pretty happy. That's a visual result today. It's one of those days where you don't feel like you've achieved much, but when you just stand back and look, you go, yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that result. So, I mean, it's probably been 6 hours worth of work to tidy up that dash and get that center console sorted out like that. So I'll have a bit of a clean up, go get some gas, and I think I'm going to start drinking. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.